Morning, folks. I want to talk about the underworld this morning and why it's important in healing trauma. I had done a post earlier this week, and one of my long-standing clients mentioned that it had taken her quite a few years of working with me to understand what I meant in referencing the underworld. And it just got me thinking, because I think she's not the only one. And I do speak to it in my book, and I'll read from that in a second. However, I think what's important to note is that we're using our imagination in reference to this idea of the underworld. If we can imagine that, what we have not yet dealt with in our lives, what holds us back from the past, pain that hasn't been addressed, experiences that we haven't tended to. Some of those heavy things are weighted, and they're so weighted that they sink deep down into this place that we call the underworld. And when we really listen to our bodies and follow our intuition, we get this sense that we need to go down and we need to go inwards to discover what we have hidden from ourselves. We're so often busy in our day-to-day, kind of hamster wheel lives of productivity and producing and being busy and going from one thing to the other, that we don't make a lot of space to recognize that there are parts of ourselves or aspects of our lives that keep us from being present because we have not yet dealt with them. Okay, so that's the first part. And inviting in our childlike sense of wonder and play and curiosity, we can then also imagine a landscape that is mythical, and bring some of the archetypes that relate to the mythos of a great cave or cavern that we have to travel down into in order to care for some of our soul wounds. So it's giving ourselves permission to create a safe landscape in our mind's eye and to use our awareness of that landscape to address what has been painful or traumatic within the where we are the ones who can name what we need to be safe and bring those things to the table. And so that could be as simple as the setting that you're in, the environment that you're in at the time, or it could be with your eyes closed and imagining, well, if I'm going to go into this underworld space and if I'm going to deal with this aspect of pain that happened when I was 10 years old, then I need to have these safety things in place. Maybe it's imagining your security blanket from when you were little, or a certain ancestor that's with you, or perhaps even an outfit that you're wearing that helps you to feel strong or empowered. It doesn't matter what you pick. It's more of that you do it and you recognize that you can. Okay. So in my book, when I have the chapter on, or in the chapter on shamanic journeying, I speak a little bit about creating our place of power, the lower world, middle world, and upper world, and their relevance in our healing. And so in the lower world, or the underworld, it has been borne many names throughout the ages. The underworld holds the secrets to our soul's greatest hungers, for within its depths live the aspects of ourselves that have been denied, rejected, and lost, be it by ourselves or others. It is home. It is the home of our grief and our trauma. It also holds our need to love and be loved, inclusive of all the conditioning and stories we hold around that. Unresolved experiences of fear, trauma, powerlessness, as well as their gifts and teachings. Issues in relationships, marriage, family of origin. Reoccurring patterns, false beliefs, and binding ideology. The truth behind the lies we have told ourselves. Healing of our past and the lost parts of our soul. 9 times out of 10, when we go on a journey, we journey into the lower world. And the reason for that is most of what we're addressing is that heavy contracted energy. And so The underworld is a place that you are imagining in your own mind's eye. You are generating a landscape that helps you to feel safe in moving into what has been difficult and traumatic. Hope that helps.